Roll call, please.
Mr. Steininger.
Here.
Mrs. Milan.
Here.
Mr. Browning. Ms. Landon.
Here.
Mrs. Webb.
Here.
Thank you. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, thank you. We have an agenda tonight. As presented, do I have a motion to accept the agenda?
No, you're fine.
A second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Ms. Landon.
Yes.
Mrs. Milan.
Yes.
Mrs. Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Steininger.
Yay. Minutes, the agenda has been approved. I need approval for the minutes of the Thursday meeting, September 4th, regular meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
For a second?
Second.
Moved and second, please call the roll.
Mrs. Webb.
Yes.
Ms. Landon.
Yes.
Mrs. Milan.
Yes.
Mr. Steininger.
Yay. Next, we have the board report, the good of the order. Wendy, would you like to start? And then we'll go down through the...
Okay. Fairborn High School hosted Unity Day for students to learn about different businesses in our community and career opportunities post-graduation. Students also had the opportunity to visit with local colleges and universities to ask questions and have the opportunity to receive information. This event highlights strong community partnerships and provides opportunities for our students to learn from local leaders and to interact with businesses and organizations which can help them plan for the future. Also, FAFSA night will be held on October the 13th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. in the Fairborn High School Performing Arts Center. Students who need information about the federal student aid program to attend colleges and universities are encouraged to attend. We'd also like to thank the Fairborn High School Air Force Junior ROTC, Fairborn High School Student Ambassadors, and Fairborn High School Leo Club for your volunteer and support at the Air Force Marathon and the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base Honor Flight. I'd also like to mention that I got to participate at the mom cell at the primary school. I think they filled about 700 moms this year, so that cell went extremely well. So thanks to all the volunteers that came out, teachers, staff, and other community members that helped distribute and unload the semi truck. And also this Saturday is a band competition at Springboro High School. The band will be performing at 8 p.m. At that high school. So if anybody wants to come out and cheer on the band, we'll be there. Thank you.
Katie?
All right. So congratulations to the Fairborn girls doubles tennis team on advancing to the OHSAA districts. Shout out to Ari Mullins and Madison Becker. We wish them the best of luck. The girls tennis team is also the MBL division champions. So congratulations to them. Carson Majors of the FHS golf team won second place for the MBL tournament. So congratulations to Carson. The Fairborn Intermediate School celebrated their 4.5 stars on the state report card with a special lunch for staff members. So we wish them congratulations and thank you very much for their hard work on all of their testing efforts. The Intermediate School also recently started a culture club to help students explore different countries, cultures, and foods. They've also hosted their first STEM club meeting focused on kinetic energy and the building blocks of motion. I just want to give a little plug for this weekend is the football for food drive at Kroger that benefits our Fairborn Fish Pantry. So if you're out and about doing your grocery shopping and feel so inclined to donate to them, that would be wonderful. There's a lot of need in our community, particularly with all of the political events that are happening right now. And tomorrow, Saturday morning at Abiding Christ Lutheran Church from 10 to 1 is their health fair. So any community members that are in need of health services would like to encourage you to come to that.
Stephanie?
Fairborn Middle School hosted a state of wit assembly for eighth graders who had the opportunity to hear from Wright State University men's basketball team about successes they have had on and off the court. Players focused on the importance of academics, making good choices, discipline, and goal setting. Students also had the opportunity to ask questions and hear about players' experiences in high school and college. Thank you to the Fairborn Middle School leadership and staff for being future focused. The web leaders are incredible students who work to welcome incoming sixth grade students. These student leaders provide a role model and mentor throughout the school year for sixth grade students. As well, October 20th to 24th, we're going to have a book fair at the middle school. Very exciting. We're going to have, on Monday the 20th, we're going to have after school hours. So parents and grandparents can come. Should be very exciting. We are also going to do a book tasting, I think the 28th at the middle school, about 28th of October, which will be a lot of fun too. And some of you will be invited to that as well. We are really busy at the middle school and many things going on. We have a lot of help from the staff and students. As well, I need to thank the football team and Coach Cox and the girls soccer team and Coach Rod and boys soccer team for coming to the senior center, serving with us for our Presbyterian free lunch that we serve there every fourth Wednesday. Kids were all great. Talked to the folks, and the folks loved them. It went very, very well. We appreciate it all. And that's all.
Thank you. I'd like to have a shout out to the Fairborn Primary School. They continue to do great work and highlight celebrate classes with perfect attendance. And they share this great news on the Skyhawk Way Facebook page to encourage all the youngest ones to be in school on time and ready to learn. Many classes also have apple taste parties and then have the students write and paint about their favorite apples. You should see that class very well. Also, maybe I can add something.
Yeah, I do actually. I wanted to also mention that next week, Fairborn High School, the marching band will be participating in the Goodwill Drive to Victory. So bring in your donations. I think there's going to be a semi-truck parked at the high school, if I remember correctly, from the 6th to the 10th, I think.
One last thing, I've had the privilege to attend some of our football games. And the one thing I've noticed very, very much is our students are very, very well behaved, number one. Number two, there are a lot of them, they attend. And when we go, I think we sometimes embarrass the teams that we visit because we've got a crowd. And they're cheering on and participating. It's really fun to watch. And I think our teams are all doing very well this year. It's just been encouraging. That's it for me. Okay, go ahead. Go for it.
Wendy and I, Paige was in the concession stand, she was there. Monday night at the girls' soccer game, we had, I don't know, 50, 60,
A lot of kids.
a whole lot of kids from the Fairborn Youth Soccer Association, and it was really cool. And they were so excited when they went out on the field, led by Coach Marty, to run around and get a picture. It was really, really cool.
Marty said, are you excited to be here for soccer? And the little one said, I get to stay up late.
Good reason.
Okay.
But it was very cool, and I commend them for doing that. The kids had a really good time. And now, oh no, Mr. Burr, are you staying for the whole meeting? Are you just a visitor?
Just a visitor.
Now I'm done.
It's ominous.
And Coach Cox back here, you missed our
Oh.
comments about the great football team.
I was
how
talking
well
about
they're doing.
football team.
That's up to
Yeah.
you, and thank you to you for all your great work. And that your players are doing a great job. They're good to see, good to watch.
Kids are doing a great job. I haven't scored a touchdown in a long time.
That's it for that, for order. Recognition visitors. Any comments?
Mr. President, we did not have anybody sign up this week.
Okay. Then we're up to district presentations. And I think we start, I'll let you.
Okay,
start that
so
off.
thank you. We would like to invite our child nutrition supervisor, Amy Brown, who is going to update you on our summer lunch program.
Hello, everyone. So I'm going to do two updates this evening, one about our summer food service program for this past summer, and then one about our CEP status and our national school lunch and school breakfast programs as well.
Jerry, you gotta reposition Jerry.
I'll just do it for you.
Okay, you can go. All right, so we served at 10 locations this summer, 9 of those being in Fairborn, 1 being in Xenia at Xenia Station Park on Detroit. We served from June 9th through August 1st. We served 11,196 meals this summer, so that's an average of about 302 meals per day. It's a little lower than we did last year, but with the extreme heat and all of the rain we got this summer, that number absolutely blows my mind. So I'm so grateful for all of our employees that participated in that program. We had 4 bus drivers, give or take, 2 full-time and then a few subs. Those buses carried our teams, 2 of our teams to their sites. We absolutely could not do it without transportation, so big thank you to them. And then we had a bunch of subs, 10 full-time employees and a bunch of subs from our nutrition services department as well. And they, no matter what, just made it work. So grateful to them. It was a very successful summer. We have a picture of some little happy kiddos. That's actually at one of the churches in Fairborn on Old Yellow Springs Road. But really great turnout this year. Huge thank you to transportation and to all the nutrition employees that helped with the program. Quick update on CEP. So last year, as most of you know, was the first year that we were CEP district-wide. CEP is the community eligibility provision, which allows us to serve a free breakfast and a free lunch to every student in the district. In addition to that, this year we have added preschool to that program, which is amazing. So now we are serving every child pre-K through 12 a free meal while they're at school. 56% of our student population is identified as qualifying for free or reduced meals based on the direct certification that we get from the state of Ohio. That number is pretty significant. We are about at 72% participation, which 72% of the kids in the district are participating in the National School Lunch Program every day, which is amazing, but we want that number as high as we can possibly get it, of course. And with all of our students that are in need, we want to make sure that we're reaching every student that we possibly can. Properly nourished students have better behaviors in the classroom. They perform better academically. They're able to perform better in sports and after-school activities if they're able to eat at school. So we really want to encourage every student to participate in the program if we can. So some things we've been working on are increasing our positive interactions with students and staff outside of the kitchen, rotating menu items and eliminating and adding items that are the kids' favorites, eliminating items that are not their favorite, adding new ones that we think they'll like, and increasing the quality of the food we serve. So the last slide here is just some pictures that I put together just to show how hard our teams are working. So we've been focusing on serving a lot more fresh fruits and vegetables and even putting them in different trays. So you can see the fruits and veggies in the white tray versus in the black. The black trays really help the colors pop, makes the food look really delicious. We eat with our eyes before we eat with our bellies. So just making sure all of our food looks fantastic. We have a display there of that is at the middle school. So all of the salads and additional sandwiches that are offered every day. We have combination ovens in each of our buildings, so those allow us to kind of like air fry. So we've been playing around with that a lot, which is the picture of the French fries there. Playing around a lot with seasonings and then just being really interactive. So the top left picture there is the last day of school. The staff at the middle school did like a send-off to summer, and it was glow stick theme. So they had disco balls and glow sticks, and it was where they turned all the lights off so everything was dark and all the disco ball was shining all over the place. It was really fun. They played music. The kids loved it. We participated in the July 4th parade for the first time in a very long time this year. We had one of our summer lunch teams did that, so that was amazing. And then we actually had 2 teams of staff that were open during open house at the beginning of the year, so that parents and kids could come through. They had some free snacks for the kids, which are all items that we serve during the school year. So again, just to increase engagement and increase those positive interactions with our kiddos. So high five and to all of the nutrition staff. They've been working really hard, and our participation is up significantly, and I hope it continues to go up.
Great job, thank you.
Does anyone have any questions? Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Amy, for what
Great
you
job.
do and what your department does for our students every day.
Oh, yes.
Next, we would like to invite Dr. Brackenhoff, who is going to circle back to some OST and EOC perfect score recognitions and also walk you through the district scorecard.
Before we start our recognition, I want to make sure I have one name highlighted. Are there any other students besides Maverick here? Okay, good. So last month, we began recognition of students that scored a perfect score on the Spring Achievement Test. And we wanted to give anyone who couldn't come last month a chance to come this month. But we will have one more opportunity, and that will be in the 4th of July parade. So we're going to invite these students to walk, and they're going to have a sign or a shirt or something significant that shows their academic success. So as I reported last month, we had 35 students district-wide that scored a perfect score. We give over 6,000 tests a year. And tonight we are going to recognize Maverick Raber. He was in 3rd grade last year and scored a perfect score in math with a perfect score of 818. So if you could join me in congratulating Maverick, his nice certificate is we're going to get a picture with him if we could. And you're going to see and his nice certificate is in the school office. We're going to come around and join. All right, congratulations to Maverick. And thank you, Maverick's family, for coming tonight. I'm going to move around to the other side.
You can stay if you wanna watch the rest of the board meeting, but you wanna leave
Behind the TV.
now. No. I need that for your family.
No, he was it, that's okay.
But our good report card is because of students like Maverick.
That's,
Thank you.
Thank you all.
thank you.
For coming.
So now I'm going to talk a little bit about our school district report card, which came out last month, and give you a little overview. Well, let's see, this is why I'm standing close. So one of the things that you will notice in this year's report card is, as has frequently happened over the years, is the components or the ratings have changed. So from last year to this year, last year we had 5 different components, and each of those components represents a different percentage of our final report card score. This year we have a total of 6 components. So for example, last year our achievement counted 28.6%. This year it counts 25%. So we have 2 measures that count 25% achievement and then progress. And then the rest of the measures now count 12.5%. So again, a new component was added, so it did change the configuration of our report cards. I'm not as loud as since we're having conferences. what we did last year and maintaining that rating again, since there was change in components, as well as maintaining those high standards, is not an easy task. As Mrs. Gayhart said, we have arrived. 4 is our new normal, and we are going to continue with our goal on the prize of a score of 5 stars. So our 4-star rating was calculated by achievement, 3 stars, progress, 4 stars, gap closing, 5 stars, our graduation rate, 4 stars, early literacy, 2, and college career workforce readiness, which is the new component, 4 stars. So this is just an explanation, possibly not, we'll move on, of what each of the components, achievement, this is derived from all of those tests that we take, over 6,000 tests, and the performance level that each student gets. Progress takes those tests and looks at where students were and where they have grown. Our gap closing looks at many different measures, which I'll show, and looks at our subgroup performance with goals set for each of those subgroups. Our graduation rate looks at both our 4- and 5-year graduates and determines an overall rating. And then early literacy looks at 3 different measures, and it is a measure of reading improvement from kindergarten through 3rd grade. Okay, so some celebrations. Again, the overall strong rating of 4, which means we have exceeded the state expectations. Our gap closing of 5 stars is showing significant evidence that we have exceeded those expectations. We moved graduation rate from 3 stars to 4 stars, so from 91.1 graduates to 94.5. The new CCWMR rating of 4 stars from the very first, and then our progress remained at 4, which is a significant rating. And then achievement, although it remained at 3, we are growing within that component. So we moved our performance index up from 79.78 to 81.23, so making that progress. We also saw an increase in the number of students who performed at the advanced or the advanced plus level. And this is directly in relationship to the opportunities we are providing our students. And then once they reach that performance level, we continue to get bonus points for it. And our district-wide performance index for gifted was 0.8 away from meeting it. It's an all or none thing, and so we are within grasp of the highest performing districts in the state in regards to our gifted students. One of the other things we look at with our report card is how we compare to similar districts. So the state identifies 20 other districts with similar demographics to us. We've identified those in order on this graph and highlighted 3 that are geographically close to us. So out of the 21 total, because we counted the 21st, we scored in 2nd place. The top 2 districts had 23 combined points. The next 2, which we tied for 2nd place, had 22 points. So we were within 1 point of scoring the highest within our similar districts. And then you'll see some of our, again, geographical neighbors, how Xenia, Mad River, and West Carrollton, how they perform compared to Fairborn. Some of the similar district comparisons, out of our group, there were 0 districts that had a 5-star rating. And there were 4 districts that had a 4-star rating. We were one of those 4, along with Austintown, Steubenville, and Struthers City. Overall, again, we tied for 2nd place with 22 total stars. In chronic absenteeism, our district moved up to 5th place in our similar districts. In our progress measure, Fairborn outperformed the top 2 districts in progress, scoring 4 stars, compared to the tied for first place districts that had 2 stars and 1 star. And our gap closing, again, Fairborn was one of 4 districts to score the perfect five stars. In the CCWMR, only Fairborn, Austintown, Steubenville, and Struthers City scored that 4-star rating. Chronic, I think I have a repeat there. So as we look at 5 stars, now I'm going to look at early literacy. Early literacy is the area where we know we have an opportunity for the most growth, but it is made up of 3 components. One of those components is the proficiency level of our 3rd graders. We have moved from various scores below 700. Now proficiency is 700 for all of our students. So that's the goal that we have, and then that counts for 40% of this measure. Then 25% of the measure looks at the growth of students from year to year. Fall of kindergarten to fall of 1st grade, fall of 1st to 2nd, 2nd to 3rd. And then finally, the promotion rate. Remember with the changes in 3rd grade reading guarantee, it used to be that students were automatically retained. Parents can now request that their students be moved on to 4th grade. So if we don't have 100 in here, it's because parents have requested that their child remain in 3rd grade for various reasons, but it's something that our building, which is the intermediate, works closely with our parents. So again, the actual percentage looks a little different because it counts different this year. In graduation, both our 4 and our 5-year rate were 94.5, so that's really easy to get a 94.5 as the total. 4-year graduation counts 60%, and the 5-year rate counts 40%. And again, you'll notice on the graph how we are making progress. Starting in 21-22, our rate was 90.1. And we are continuing to make growth across the years. The new CCWMR looks at 11 different measures. So it looks at the senior class. This would be the class of 2024 that's being reported, because graduation is always looking in the rear view mirror. It looks at 11 different components, and each graduate represents 1 point. They have to get a point in one of these 11 ways. And some of them are purely academic ways, such as a remediation-free score on the ACT or the SAT, or an honors diploma, or having a 3 plus score on 3 different AP exams. And then others deal with that career focus in military readiness. So some of it is military enlistment. It could be completion of apprenticeship or pre-apprenticeship programs. So this is really an opportunity for us to not only focus on the academic growth of our students, but to determine how can we help these students by meeting one of these measures and be ready after graduation to continue with their progress. The district gap closing component has different elements within it, and there are a lot of hidden things in here. So it looks at gifted identification, performance, and progress. It looks at our graduation rate, so it's counted again here. It looks at chronic absenteeism and our English learner progress, as well as our achievement in progress and in ELA and math. So they're scored in other areas, but here we are looking at the subgroups. So are we growing all of our children at the same rate? So there were goals established based on a starting point in 2015-16, and we each year are working towards achieving those goals, and we earn points within there. And then our gifted, again, I wanted to highlight just the remarkable job that they're doing. We are very close to meeting that new performance index, and just pointing out that we had 17.2% of our students, our gifted students, performing in that advanced plus level. So you will notice accomplished is at 19.2%, and then we go to advanced and then advanced plus. Chronic absenteeism, even though that is one component in that gap closing, it's one that we really pay attention to. We monitor it. We do everything we can to encourage students to come to school every day. We can do our jobs as educators when we have students in the classroom ready to learn. So I wanted to show how we are, this one is one you want to reduce the score versus aiming for a bigger number, you're looking for a smaller number. And you will see that the district is that top line in blue, and the state is the red line. We are close to the state, but you'll also know we're closing the gap in our reduction in chronic absenteeism and getting closer and closer to that state average. So 4 out of 5 buildings met that measure, and again, district-wide, it helped us earn all 5 points within that gap closing by having students in attendance. I wanted to just very quickly highlight how important that attendance is and some of the extraordinary means that our buildings go through. So every 2 weeks, they have attendance data. They get it at their building leadership team meeting. They get it at our district leadership team meeting. And so we look at every building, what their goal is, and where they are currently, and we compare it to how they were doing last year, so we know, are we keeping pace? Are we going to meet our goal? So by the end of the year, we have a pretty good sense if we're going to meet our chronic absenteeism rate. And again, the goals are very clearly outlined for each year. And each year we meet a goal, and then your next year you have to meet a lower goal because the goal is to reduce that chronic absenteeism. All right, and then to get all of this work done, what we have done is continue to work in the OIP process. We shift from working as individual teachers in classrooms to working together as a group, as a purposeful, intentional process. And we also really focus on leadership functions. So leadership is in the classroom when teachers are leading students, but leadership is required outside of the classroom for individual buildings and for the district to grow. So by promoting that leadership and working through our Ohio improvement process, we continue to grow. We dig deeper into the data every single month and focus on what our plan for instruction is so that we can continue to maintain that 4-star rating, but hopefully we will meet that 5-star rating in the very near future.
Any questions?
Dr. Brackenhoff, if I could just add, several years ago, we had a conversation, and we were much lower on that list when we looked at the 20 similar districts, and there was a pretty extensive conversation about what are the districts at the top doing, and how do we get ourselves further up to the top. We look now, we're basically number 2, and we're right on the heels of Steubenville, who was, the center of that conversation. What is Steubenville doing? Can we do any of those things? I do want to say, commend really Dr. Brackenhoff for taking those suggestions to task and reaching out to Steubenville, gleaning some information. I think that has been beneficial to us, but also really digging into what is on the report card and where are we at and how do we move that needle. So while it's the work of a lot of individuals, it's really under Dr. Brackenhoff's guidance that we have been able to get to where we're at. So thank you, Dr. Brackenhoff, and it is certainly a point of pride for our district to be where we are at right now. Okay, next we are going to have Mr. Philo talk about money.
Good evening. I invite Mr. Bird, your assistant treasurer, to come up with me. First, before we talk money, it gives the treasurer's office great pleasure to present to the Board of Education 3 awards. The first is a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting from the Government Financial Officers Association. This is the 7th year in a row. This is a national organization. That's for reporting. The second one is from the Association of School Business Officials, same certificate for financial reporting. And this is also the 7th year in a row that we've received this. And the third is from the state auditor in the state of Ohio. It's a Ohio Auditor of State Award with Distinction presented to Fairborn City School District. In terms of it's presented because of the financial reporting and because of the results of the audit. So in essence, we have had a clean audit, and Fairborn Schools have received this award several years now as well. So at this time, I'd invite the board to come up, Mrs. Gayhart, to receive these awards.
Good job, Kevin.
Now we can
Fun.
Mr. Burr, if you will run the
Thank you, sir.
I got an extra.
You get to study it twice.
Probably a presentation.
You'll notice first that the format is significantly different than the past. The state of Ohio changed their 5-year forecast to a 3-year forecast. The 5-year forecast before was the current year that we're in, plus 4 more years. The new format is a 3-year forecast, is one the year that we're currently in, and then 3 on top of it. I think my math counts as a 4-year forecast, but they call it a 3-year. So we want to present in terms of the actual, and I know that's hard to read, roughly the same format as we've done before. I still go out 5 years. The first 2 years are more accurate. Anything after that is pure speculation. A couple of the highlights on this is you'll notice that our ending cash balance dropped in 24, down to from 34 million down to 2025, down to 24.2 million. That reflects the $8 million that we transferred over to the middle school project, and also the money that we lowered our ending cash balances to try to accommodate what they might do in Columbus. So with that, it changes the outlook a little bit, but in terms of overall, the first line, the light blue line is sort of the worst case scenario, with a levy in there projected for November of 2027, a $4 million levy. That projects us going down roughly several $1 million a year. That is also a worst case scenario. What I consider more accurate is probably that darker blue line. That's my best guess at this time. So it still shows us in a strong, stable financial position for the next 5 years. But there are a lot more asterisks behind that now than there was a couple years ago in terms of what can happen in Columbus, what can happen in Washington, and we'll talk a little bit in work session about some of those possibilities. So legislated tonight to be asked to approve that. There are placeholders in there for future raises, those are all subject to negotiations. They're subject to the state biennial budget, et cetera. So this shows really without any major changes. The last line, the line in pink, is the line that if a levy was not passed in November 2027, and projecting a small 4 mil levy, that's where any cash would be. So in terms of still, those are strong and stable. If you remember years ago, I showed a levy in 2024, and we did not have to ask for that. So, any questions? Roughly, this shows our revenues and projections. Pretty similar from year to year. We're total projected revenues this year of $64.4 million. It's a good balance in terms of the blue and the green is local, that's real estate taxes and income tax. The red and the orange and the yellow are more state of Ohio. So it's kind of a 50-50 match, right where we want to be. Not all of our eggs in one basket in terms of our total projected revenues. Next is our expenditures. Our expenditures, 75-80% is blue. That's salaries and that's fringe benefits. We're a people, person, government. We deliver a service, and so those percentages are roughly the same as they've been in the past. Our projected expenditures are roughly about $66 million. You'll see that we are projecting to spend more than we're bringing in. So in terms of what we have, cash balances will grow. Our ending cash balances, this is the worst case scenario. You can see back to 2019, we hovered in that $30 million range. We hit the high in 24. We adjusted down here in 25. And this is the worst case scenario. What we're projecting to end this year is roughly around $22, $23 million in that area. Normally each year I would present comparisons in terms of when we talk about value. Dr. Brackenhoff brings the results. And then I show what we spend per student. What I will do is I will present that information next month. That way we won't bore you completely with all finance stuff, but we can spread it out over 2 months. So we'll show those comparisons to those same districts that we did across the state and in Green County next month and reinforce the value. Any questions?
Sure, we all have questions.
Yep.
There are many things, again, that happen in Columbus that we all understand will impact us directly or indirectly. So again, you said more asterisks than we would like to see,
Correct.
but we can't do anything about it today.
Yep. And in work session, as I will go over some of the things that are being proposed in Columbus and how it might directly affect Fairborn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Philo. And then our final presentation tonight, I'll invite Jeff Madden, who's going to give you an update about the latest conference and federal impact aid, which we recently attended.
Is that where I start? There we go.
Sorry,
That's all right.
just trying to make sure you know what you're doing.
I passed one test. Keep me on my toes. Couple of
Never red
things.
color blue.
That is Pam still here? Because she'd be impressed. That is that is the exact format. Typed in the right numbers for the colors. Not sure if the board's aware or not. I think most of the board is, but we are a federally impacted school district and have been for probably on forever. And there's been a lot of history in that. I won't go into all that history, but in the next month or so, we're going to be passing out federal impact aid forms, asking families to complete those forms. They're important for us to get what our slice of the pie is when it comes to being federal impact. And I also wanted to share kind of what we do as a district to advocate for our district in DC. So next slide talks a little bit about what is federal impact aid. Big picture is it's a federal program that gives federal dollars to schools that are impacted for different reasons, whether it be military installations, Indian lands, federal low income housing, national parks and federal property. School districts are, basically the government has said, hey, there is a cost to school districts if we're on your campus, if you're in your territory. And this is a way to offset some of that impact. And the law's been around since, I think, the 1920s, 1930s. It has evolved and changed and been modified, but that's the overall concept, is that, hey, being close to right path impacts Fairborn. And it impacts the other districts that have a lot of military families. So that's Impact Day. Next slide is what is NAFIS. You have probably heard people from the district for many, many, many years go to Washington, D.C. and advocate for our federal dollars. And that advocacy really comes through a national organization called NAFIS, which is the National Association of Federally Impacted Schools. They've been around for 50 plus years, 1,000 school districts are part of it, and they come across from all over the country. One of the benefits of this, unrelated to perhaps money, is the connection that Fairborn can have with an Indian land, with a territory in a different part of the country, to learn about their practices, their culture, their values, and things that they're doing. It's pretty eye-opening to be from Ohio to learn about that stuff. So you have a lot of just broad conversations about education across the country. So side note on that piece. But overall, NAFIS, their goal is to influence, provide advocacy, information about impact aid and the importance at the national level to keep it. Some school districts, they wouldn't survive without it. So it's a big, big issue for all of them. We're a small piece in that pie, but it's important for us to be there. Next slide talks about local connections. So locally, we have 3 school districts that are part of NAFIS. They all receive impact aid dollars. We work really collaboratively. We go to DC as a group. We meet with our representatives, at least their legislative aides, as a group, and have conversations with them as a group. So we show up in 6 to 8 people showing up, sharing our story, sharing our connection with Right Path, the impact that it has on our community, and the support we provide our students with the dollars. Next slide, and just as a side note, Fairborn has a pretty good history of some leadership roles within NAFIS, within some subgroups. So within the organization, we have a decent amount of voice within NAFIS. Capitol Hill visits, what that looks like. We meet with our 3 representatives, 2 senators and Mike Turner, Representative Turner. So that's really kind of our group that we meet with. Those are 3 separate meetings. We schedule those with their legislative aides. We're in their offices. It is rare to see a senator or a representative, but we do have pretty good connections with their legislative aides. And those aides sometimes float across different people. So, for example, Mike Turner's his legislative aide went to Senator Houston's office, and so he remembers us. He talked about things that he did with Representative Turner and the conversations that he's having with Senator Houston. So those things I think matter. I will share I have not come here, but last year in December, I got an email from one of the legislative aides just giving an update to the group about impact aid and conversations that he had with Representative Turner and things that were pending. So it was a nice way to say, hey, we went there in the fall, and you kept our contact information, and you actually followed through with updating us in December. It was pretty impressive, I think. But we also shared more than just the story of impact aid and Right Path. We shared a story of what is going on in public schools, the importance of our school lunch program, the importance of mental health in schools, the changes that take place. They hear the stories, that they learn more than just federal impact aid. And I think we talk about title funding. We have a little bit of insight about, hey, this is where the House is with this bill, this is where the Senate is with this bill. We highlight, hey, we kind of like that version, but we don't like that part of that version. It's just an opportunity to share information, gain some insight, and keep that connection for public schools through an impact, through an organization at NAFIS really allows us that avenue to get to that federal level and have some dialogue with it. With that, that's all I have about NAFIS, about Impact Day. Are there any questions?
I just want to say, like, I know, I mean, you know, I personally have known about this, having worked in some of these districts, you know, grown up. That was one of the most concise presentations on what this all is I've ever heard, so very well done. Thank you.
Mrs. Gayheart, did you hear that?
So good.
Say that again.
It's on record, right?
You'll need that clip.
Yeah.
Okay, that is it for district presentations.
Thank you. Next, we have budget and finance. Before we approve this, we have to have a motion and a second to approve the three attachments, the forecast, the spending plan, and the monthly financial report.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Move and a second. Do we have any questions? Report. I hear none, then call the roll, please.
Mrs. Malat,
Yes.
Mrs. Webb,
Yes.
Ms. Landon,
Yes.
Mrs. Steininger.
Yay. Next, we have the administrative report, and this goes on, I think it's on page 11. Left of distance. And part of this, I'm gonna turn to Katie, because there's a couple recognitions that need to be made here.
Put on one second.
Okay, well,
You do that.
sounds good. All right, so, we just want to congratulate a couple of our, upcoming retirees and request a resolution of tribute. First for Cherie Evans, grade 1 FPS, and this just staggers me every time I read it. 43 years of education, all in Fairborn City Schools. That is unreal. So, she's dedicated her whole life to us. And then, as Stephanie said, Sonia Walker, science, again, another huge year, requesting a resolution of tribute for 32 years in education, all of them in Fairborn City. And that, just their dedication to the district is unmatched. So thank you very much to those two ladies.
Stephanie, if you want to add.
Just want to add about Sonia Walker. She's one of those that never says no. She'll stay after with the kids that can't, maybe go to fun on Friday. She's up for, and the kids love her. But more importantly, her contributions over all these years have been amazing. And I wish her well in retirement. And she's going to be a grandma, so she's retiring at the right time. So we'll miss you, Sonia.
Thank you. Do we have a motion, I had a motion yet to approve?
Yeah.
Someone can make the motion yet to approve?
So moved.
Move in a second, call the roll, please.
Mrs. Webb,
Yes.
Ms. Landon,
Yes.
Mrs. Malat,
Yes.
Mrs. Steininger.
Yay. Wendy, would you do the next, which is gifts and donations?
Sure. The Fairborn City Schools Board of Education would like to gratefully acknowledge the following gifts and donations. Trim Family for boys' clothing, boots, and a coat for Fairborn primary students. Fairborn Education Association, $100 for student athletes. Fairborn Moose Lodge, 1068, and women at the Moose 917. Backpacks with supplies for the Fairborn primary students. Bear Creek Church, school supplies for Fairborn primary school. Russell and Amanda Kinch and Kearney and Company, 14 backpacks with supplies for Fairborn primary students. And the Vibe Hair Lounge for 40 backpacks with supplies for our Fairborn primary students. Thank you for all your generous gifts and donations to our students and our schools.
Thank you, thank you.
Board will now enter into a work session. After that, we'll have an executive session. And if